podcast character designs done by Demon Artie. Be sure to follow her over on Twitter at ArtieDemon. Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin.
M15 PCA.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. Star Trek Discovery Season 3, Episode 2, Far From Home.
Starting to look at that.
Spider-Man shows up in this episode. But, overall, it's not a bad episode. It's not great either.
No.
It just, there's parts that are good and there's parts that are not good. It's,
yeah. But the thing is, I can say that I'd rather have this.
Yeah,
we're starting to get a Star Trek a little bit.
Being in the future helps so much.
Yep.
It honestly, God, helps so much.
Because you're not Bertrand Cannon anymore.
Yeah. And so this one focuses mainly on the Discovery.
Yep. And
because when they went through the wormhole, so they're dealing with all their problems. Remember, Michael was last episode. Now this is theirs. I like how they're like when the ship's like, you know, they're trying to figure out what's going on. It's very Trek when they talk about like fixing this. We need to relay this. Oh, the plasma conduit. This. I love all that.
As we got none of that, not much in the prior seasons. Now we're getting what we wanted in that.
But then we get later on in the season, and it's like, oh, it's an episode of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's a little too much.
So that's the kind of stuff we're talking.
It wasn't written bad. It just wasn't Star Trek.
It didn't feel like Trek.
No.
It really didn't. But they open up with recapping last season. Again.
Yeah.
Are they going to recap last season every episode?
We're not stupid. We know you don't need to keep doing that.
It's like every single time. But then it kind of opens up with like, I guess everyone got knocked out.
Yeah.
So they've been adrift. It's just so funny because we get the reveal how long they've been were behind Michael this whole time. But I'm wondering, were they knocked out for longer than they thought? Because remember, they were all just laying on the floor.
So when you think they're thinking they're adrift, they really are adrift.
Maybe
they are.
That's kind of fun to think about it that way. But they all kind of just wake up, and Sue's like the first one up. It's like everyone to their stations because they're like falling.
Yeah,
they're like being pulled into a planet. So
there's asteroids everywhere,
so
debris everywhere.
So I like Suru. I love Suru.
Suru was really amazing in this episode.
Suru is my favorite character in Discovery, hands down. Doesn't even come close.
Nope.
So he's trying to be a captain and trying to get everyone to their stations. And then everyone's kind of waking up, and like making noises.
I mean, the thing is, you're on a ship. He goes, "This is a dangerous situation. Get up. You gotta kind of not."
Then there's little things. The comedy doesn't work.
No more comedy. And then even when Tilly first says something about something she's going through in my head, I'm like, Tilly, don't worry about that.
I got like a headache. Just get to your station. Shut the hell up.
Yeah, we're falling. Get you say we're falling. Stop talking about
Stow the belly aching.
Yeah. And even Jet Reno said something like that.
Jet Reno. Oh, this feels like my back's been through it. Nobody cares.
Not right now.
Not in this situation where they could all be dying.
Yeah.
We don't even know yet. But I'm going to complain about my back.
So stupid.
Jet Reno's awful. She's
awful. The worst. She's the worst in this.
Ugh, she belongs in lower decks.
Yes, she does.
So they're trying to figure out what's going on. Everything's down. Sensors are down. Communications down. They can't even, in-ship communications are down. So shields are down. They have no control over the ship. So it's just...
And this is where we get the good Trek talk.
Because they're going back and forth.
Okay, we got to do this. Okay, the comms are down, but like you said, the relays need to be fixed. Okay, we can't do this. Yes, exactly what I want to hear. Exactly.
But they're just basically gonna they are a pachinko ball. They're just gonna bounce around these asteroids. So they're smashing into stuff.
And then there's like a planet down there. Like, oh crap, we're gonna crash in this planet.
They have literally no control of what's going on. So they're trying to get just like minimal controls. So they get a little bit of stuff up, and they're just bracing for impact.
Yeah.
I brought this up. Yeah, last episode we had a big spaceship crash. Now we have another ship crash.
Usually that was when that happened in Star Trek. It was rare.
Yeah, it's like an event.
Yeah.
Now it's happened twice.
It makes sense why they're crashing, but at the same time, why'd you do it twice?
Yeah.
Why couldn't Burn just come in normal? You know what I'm saying? Then it wouldn't have been so bad. They even do like a barrel roll. They go upside down.
They say, the shields on the top of the saucer
stronger.
are the stronger, so let's flip over and let that take the brunt of it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Trek stuff.
Yeah.
I like that.
And they go, and then when you do that, and then Suru, we don't have a choice. We got to do it. Because the other one said, we should do that. Yes, we're going to do that.
I like how Suru takes the best course of action that's going to save as much lives as possible.
Yep.
So they even got a little bit of their deflectors to where like push against the planet just to soften the impact, which I thought it looked pretty cool as they were coming down.
It was a cool effect.
They hit, and man, they hit pretty damn hard. I mean, people are getting flung around.
Yeah, and exactly during this whole thing, one of the comm officers again, I don't know her names. They never said her name. She's kind of like out of it. Like
that's happened after this part.
Oh, okay.
Because they flip over, she hits her head,
yeah,
and she gets all like effed up. But then she's like in I don't know, PTSD mode.
I think he's post-traumatic because she's just acting weird.
She's like, and everyone's like, "Oh, we landed," and she's navigation. So like, "Oh, thank you, you did a good job." But it's more like, you know,
and she didn't even say anything like, "Commander, you okay?" And he's talking to her.
The other girl, the black girl.
Yeah.
I don't know these characters' names.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
They never took the time to give these characters character
And
episodes.
the thing, this Helms officer, I would be more concerned about her, but I don't know who she is. But that's their fault for not establishing these characters
in 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So the other girl's like, "Hey, are you doing all right?" "Oh, I'm fine." She's like, "No, you need to go to sick bay." And then even Sue was like, Go to sick bay. Oh, okay. And she kind of just wanders off. Something happened.
Yeah.
But she does have that weird eye thing. So do you think it's something to do with that, or is it something?
Maybe it might be technical, not necessarily. Maybe it might be. But one thing I didn't like, I was just praising TikTok. They didn't say, "Okay, what's wrong with the rest of the ship?" They didn't do that.
Yeah, they kind of get around to it, but they were like too busy clapping. Okay, get off.
No, don't clap. Don't do that.
But they literally are stuck in their ship. They have nothing. They can't communicate out. They have very base sensors. Like as they were falling, they did sense that there are life forms here.
Yeah.
And it looks like there's
And no one screamed about it afterwards.
Yeah, I know. They didn't pull Michael Burnham and go, "Wow, see, what was it? Wow." They were just like, okay. But Suru was like, we can't assume we're gonna be welcome.
Yeah.
We just can't, because they could kill us. They could. We don't know. We don't know when
we have
we
no
are
idea
or where we are.
Exactly.
And they see that there's pockets of breathable air. So it's like these are man-made. So there's definitely people here. There's life signs. But okay, let's kind of go.
Probably like collector cleaners or clean the atmosphere of this area.
I do like the fact that they're like, well, without any internal scans or anything, how are we going to fix anything? Because Jet Reno's complaining, and then Silver's like, you do it by hand. You go conduit to conduit, and you figure it out. You're engineers.
Yeah. And then the engineers, okay, we can use the tricorders. Exactly. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, you're going to have to do it the old school.
You have to use a little, the micro scanner if you have to. You got to do what you got to do.
But Sue was like, until we get comms up, everyone moves in pairs. Yep. And, let's get the work done. We may not know where we are. Everything's down, but we're alive and we have each other. I love Suru.
Oh my goodness, he is a Starfleet captain.
He's a captain.
I just wish he was in one of the older shows, in a better show. But
and the fact that technically he was never given the commission to captain, so he's still just commander.
But at this point, he's
captain. Be captain.
It's like Cisco. Okay, even though he was only a commander for a few seasons, he's just a captain. Okay, we just always see him.
So everyone starts doing their work. And
I even like the old school where they have the little...
yeah, like they're almost like welding almost, right? Yeah. It's super cool. I like it. Then Tilly's talking to Sue, and I like how Tilly is being herself, very kind of spazzy and everything. But Suru has like infinite patience, and he doesn't make her feel bad for it. Like some of the other characters do, but Suru is like understanding.
Yes,
he's a good captain.
Like how a captain's supposed to be.
Then she's like, she's talking about the different pockets of air and everything, and she's like, that can't be natural. It has to be made by
because the way this planet or whatever this is not, it wouldn't have an atmosphere like that. It doesn't make any sense.
But he's like, well, okay, that's good to know, but we need to, everything's internal right now. Because I know we all want to know what's out there, but we got to worry about what's in here.
He said they're on the bridge, which is exactly what you said. We got to fix this first.
So they want to get the communications up, but I guess they need some type of material, and they don't have any of it. Yeah. So this guy's like, well, I can try to something, maybe 6 hours, maybe I don't know if.
But we're gonna need a new supply. We need to fix this.
Giorgio.
Yes, Giorgio.
Giorgio.
I don't like her in this situation. I'm saying that right now.
You do not want a Terran in this world at this time, because at any time, because you're gonna have to trust her. Yeah. And that's like the worst thing.
And there's thugs and outlaws and despots everywhere.
Here's the thing. I truly, honest to God, believe Giorgio would kill everyone on this ship if she can run off with her and Michael.
Oh, yeah. She could.
She'd kill them all.
Wouldn't care. If Michael was on board with it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, or she would kidnap her.
Oh, yeah.
And kill everyone on the ship. Because there's going to be a time where they're going to have to be like, okay, Giorgio, you have the bridge or something, and she's going to do what she wants to do.
This part of the Alpha Quadrant is more dangerous, or just as dangerous as it was during Archer's time when Archer starts going to deep space.
Yeah, it's just
there's outlaws everywhere. There's lawlessness. There's no organization.
So she's like, we the communications. We need to get this up. We need to contact Michael.
And Giorgio's like, no.
Okay, we get it. You like her.
Yeah.
my God, it's a little much. Remember how Lorca literally went to another plane of reality so he can get his booty call?
Yeah.
What is with this girl that everyone just got to have her?
Well, I think she sees her as a daughter because that's if she was in her universe, but still.
It's a little much.
It's crazy.
Let's not worry about life support systems or anything. Let's call Michael.
Yeah. And another thing they did, you see her boots, like, oh, why is that blood on it? Because remember the guy from Control who was Sex 31 who got control?
She stomped
on him. She didn't have to do that.
After he got turned into mush, she went and like stomped all over
But that's
him.
what she would do. But it's still like, oh, they showed it. That should have been enough right there.
Yeah, they showed like the remnants of him.
Yeah.
But so even Suru basically breaks it down. Yes, communications is important, but we can't even fly. So if we find out where Michael is, we can't get to her. So let's worry about what's happening now and get to that point. But George's like,
and he says, I'm like basically saying, I'm captain. That's just listen to what I'm saying.
Then he's like, since I guess everyone on the ship is a super mega smart, he's like, why don't you help him then? Help him get this thing up and running. We need every hand on board.
The manifolds and all
But
that.
she's like, you have engineers to do that.
But Giorgio, this is an emergency situation. All hands on deck. Seriously.
Then we get to Stamets, which I think he has grown as a character.
Oh, the most than anybody in the show.
From being the first couple episodes of season 1 is just that pompous asshole. Like, oh, jeez. It's like, imagine Bones, but just like an awful mean version.
Yeah, see, but Bones has a charm to him. There's no charm with him whatsoever.
Unless he's just like a jerk. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
But remember, he got put into a coma last because during everything that was happening at the end. So he's starting to like come out of it because they need these med bays. Yeah, he's in he's not dying.
Yeah. He's not great.
Yeah, he's not in great shape. But
because remember, it's a triage now. In the triage situation, we got to get it. Everyone who's badly hurt needs to be taken care of.
Yeah, people who are dying need to go up first. And if you can survive, even if it's just like you're going to lose an arm, but you'll live.
That's
next
realistic,
person.
Exactly.
So, and
triage 101, yep.
I do like him and his husband because they do seem like a loving couple.
Yeah.
I thought it was super lame how they brought him back to life.
I didn't like that.
And it was for political reasons because, what, he killed gay people? It was part of the story.
It was a sacrifice.
But now they just bring him back. So lame. Whatever. That was last season. Bleh. But he's trying to talk to him. He's like, we don't know where we're at. Comms are down. I got to get you out of this bed. He's like, I'm sorry, honey, but I got to get you out of this med bed because we need it for more, people that are dying. And he's like, okay, I'm fine. He's like, but you're not fine. You need to take everything slowly. And I guess because after everything happened, his brain's still all scrambled. Yeah. So he can't even spell words.
Yep. And he said spelled the stupid thing and all I got was his t-shirt or something stupid like
that. And he just can't even begin it.
Anything.
He's like, you're not fine. I'm going to put you into this cellular thing to help you. And you have to go through so many cycles and that's going to help you recover faster.
Yep.
All of this takes a long time.
Again, I don't want to talk, but again, they could shorten it. But again, this has always been Discovery's problem. Filler. That's the problem.
So he's in the cellular rebuilder thingy. And then the navigation girl, I'm sorry, I don't know her name. She walks in and she's like, looking around. And then there's something up. Something happened to her. Either it's neurological or maybe it's emotional. We don't know because they don't explore it.
Here's the thing. Is it going to be something where she does something bad or is this going to be like she's going to be out of it? Like, what's the extent of this?
I'm hoping they don't... I hope Control doesn't come back. Like it infected her neural
implant. I want kind of Control to go away. That whole story, hopefully in this timeline, they're gone, hopefully.
So the doctor there just says, you just, does the derma thing and fixes it. Okay, you're good to go. Oh, I'm fine, unless there's something else. I know there's a very... things are happening really fast, so she can't sit down with you and have a sit down and talk to you. How are you feeling and everything?
But she's trying to let her know there's other problems. We have more important patients to worry about.
But she's also not being truthful, saying no, my mind, there's something wrong. She should say something, but she's not.
But that's
saying
up to her. She needs to say it, but she's not saying it, like you said.
Then we get the kind of captain's meeting. It's so funny. It's like everything's all flipped over and destroyed, but they're in the room and conference room talk. I love this kind of stuff. So Suru's like, well, we got to fix this thing, but we don't have that mineral. We did some basic scans, and they have that mineral in that little colony. So maybe we go out there and ask for it, but maybe they shoot us on sight. But we don't know.
And then here comes Giorgio with her strong arm Gestapo tactics.
Giorgio would go and just kill everyone and just take it. That's not the right way to do things.
And Sue was like, well, we can't do that.
And they had that security officer lady. Again, I don't know her name. The one with the little breathing things. I forget what the alien race is, too.
I've seen them before, like I said, in the Star Trek movies, but I just don't remember the race.
But so they're all there having the kind of captain's, options. What do we got to do? So, they're going to have to go and Sue was like, we'll go and we will do it start the way how Starfleet does it. We'll go and we'll conform to their standards, and then we will barter, what we can. But George is like, what a waste of time. If this was my planet, I would have killed all of you already. We know, Giorgio, we know.
You're a psycho, and not only that, but like I love with Suru, he reiterates this a couple times this episode. We didn't come to wherever time you're to act like this. We came here to act like Starfleet officers. We're not going to act like
puts in her damn place.
Yeah,
and also I like how Tilly's also trying to like talk about like, because they have the materials we need and everything. And I don't know, Suru's trying to like, incorporate her too. Like, come on, Tilly, you can talk too, because she is smart. But again, I think she's regressed. I know this is a stressful situation, but she's regressed.
But the problem is even the end of last season, she was acting like this.
A little bit.
So it's kind of the same attitude. And it's like, really, Tilly? It's like... And then she couldn't get the words out, and then friggin' Giorgio just slams her.
Yeah, and Georgia's like, oh, do you want to look at the manual to learn how to talk right? Like, she's just treating her like crap. Yeah. And then Sue was like, we're all Federation right here. Stop talking. I know that's how you, whatever, Terran, whatever, but that's not how we talk to each other.
That's not here, yeah. And she goes, well, you needed a source just to get the words out. It's like, that's just not necessary.
Your manual.
I know.
So then Suru goes, okay, we're going to go and we're going to barter. And we're going to figure out something and we're going to trade off. And it's going to be me and Tilly. We're going to go. And then even that tactical officer's like, you're bringing her? Oh, jeez, guys.
Hey, that's my command and that's what I'm doing.
But it'd been like, no, she should have said, sir, since I'm tactical, I would like to go with you as well. She should have said that instead of like,
oh, I know, right? Well, the thing is, when you think about it, it is a conference room, so they could be a little more open about it. It's not in front of the whole crew, but still.
It's still a little super.
So you didn't have to say it like that.
But then she tells her, you and Giorgio work together to get the comms up.
The friggin' manifolds and all that.
To get all that stuff up and going. Me and Tilly are going to go, and we're going to see if we can get the materials that we need. Which, then, I just like how Suru takes command. Then I'm not going to show this because it's fucking disgusting. Yeah. Remember we talked about that guy died and there was the goop on her boots? Yeah, they showed the whole goopy, bloody mess.
All you had to do is show the boots. That was fine. You need to show this part. And they show it for a little too long. A
guy's like scooping it up like a pooper scoop and it's all blood and guts. Yeah. It is freaking disgusting.
I'm sure that's how they would do it, but we don't need to see it.
Yeah, it's almost like a scooper pan. Like, oh no, here's this goopy mess.
But that is an overall problem with new Star Trek. They want to show blood and guts.
Yeah.
Why they want to show that, I don't know.
So they're doing that, and then I guess it's going to be Stamets and Jet Reno. Oh my God, Jet Reno's not funny. I don't know this person. She's a comedian.
But she's not funny at all.
But no, she is. No, she kind of reminds me of, she's that deadpan comedian who can just say things without like being... But it doesn't work.
She kind of reminds me of Paul Reiser in that way, that very kind of matter of fact. But
a really not good Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah.
Where Ellen DeGeneres can deliver the straight man line.
But she's likable about it.
Yeah, this lady's not likable at all.
No.
So she's talking to Stan. Oh, well, how many drugs they got you on? And he's like, I'm trying to do my work here. And, Captain said Suru mandated that we work in pairs. And since we're both down here, I guess it's just you and me. And Sam's like, I don't want to work with you. I was like, the fact that he's just like, I don't like you. But she's like, oh, we're going to be stuck together.
Stamets is the fans. He just went with the fans. We don't like you.
But she's just so...
She's just too gruff about everything.
So she's just like, well, regardless if you want me to be part, even if you don't want to work with me, I'm going to just follow you around. So...
Well, yeah, tell me, because this guy over is not going to do it. And he goes, my name's Kevin. At least he told her something back, like, really?
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Yeah.
I don't care. But Mr. Maintenance Boy here.
Jeez.
She's so... Bleh, I don't like this character. Then we get a suiting up scene because it's completely 100% unnecessary. Because I guess they're going out and it's cold, so like putting on the coats and everything. It's like, do we need to see them suiting up?
And then the next thing you see Baby Yoda. I mean, that's what it felt like a Mandalorian scene.
It's a scene. This is where it gets full-blown Star Wars.
Yeah.
So we see this lake, and I'm pretty sure this is the same lake they've shown every time they've shown a lake. They just use different graphics to make it look different.
The thing is, I think they probably did this before, but since the episodes are back-to-back, you can tell.
Yeah, it looks like the same kind of lake area.
I know a lake's a lake, I get that, but it's the same lake. We know what it is.
So they have to walk to this place, and this is the second time where they had to walk somewhere. Remember Michael Burnham had to walk all the way to the place? Now they have to walk.
I'm going to say transporters are down. I guess they did. Did they say something?
Yeah, everything's all effed up.
Oh, so I guess.
But even then, it's like, how far away is this place? Miles and miles and miles away?
Right?
So they're walking, and Tilly just keeps talking about, life forms and what's going to happen. And you can tell she's nervous. And Suru's like, it's fine. Keep talking. I know you're a competent officer. You just say, you're allowed to be afraid. I'm never going to order you never to be afraid, but you need to not show it.
Yes.
Which is, I like that. Oh my God, I love Suru.
And then also Cyril, and the fact is, now they're 1-on-1, so now it could be even more so, be kind of...
And I do like this part where he's like, and she's like, why did you bring me? It's like, well, we're possibly making first contact, and you make good first impressions.
Yeah, and you're also a good engineer. You're very competent, and I can trust you.
Yeah.
I can't trust Giorgio for anything.
Because Giorgio be like, oh, instead of butterfly, turn around and stab you in the throat. I wouldn't want to be alone with Giorgio ever.
Because the minute Suru's dead, she's taking over the ship. You know that.
Yeah.
And it would be a disaster.
So, which is true, and she kind of gets a little like, choked up because he believes in her. And the thing is, not saying this is a bad thing, but you're non-threatening.
Yeah.
When people first see you, they don't think, this lady's here to come take over and kill us. You're very personable and you're kind. It's a good first contact.
Not only that, when you think about it, Suru's also looks non-threatening too. They both look non-threatening, so it's the perfect people to bring into a first contact, like you said, situation.
Get back to Discovery, and it's the tactical officer and Giorgio, and I guess they say that whenever a cloud goes by or shadows, this ice kind of expands. So they're guessing, by sundown, this ice is going to take over the ship.
Yeah.
So that's another time crunch now. So it's not just getting communications up. They got to get up before the night's over. So, and then Giorgio is just...
This is so menial for me. I
need to contact Michael. We get it. My God, you want to contact Michael.
But I like how she gets pushback from even her. She goes, well, we got to get everything fixed here first. I mean, that's not something we need to be worried about right now.
And she's like, why did you even come here? Georgia's talking to her and like, you should have stayed on the Enterprise where you belonged. And then she's like, I felt like it was like my duty.
Well, she also said, too, because someone
died
on your ship died, so I thought it was kind of a life for a life. That's why I came on them. And
she's like, I understand that. But she understands it in like the worst possible way.
Oh, yeah, life for a life. Yeah, she sees it as a literal killing somebody, not the sacrifice.
So they got the comms up on one deck. And then we see that one alien guy this is the same guy that sneezed on the...
Yeah, it is the same
So
one.
He's a pretty cool looking alien. And Giorgio's like, with those eyes, I bet you can see quite a spectrum. And he's like, I can see this thing. He's like, I need you. We don't know what this is about because we don't see how this comes about. What do you think she's using him for?
Probably to get some advantage on the ship somewhere, knowing her. But he's just being a Starfleet officer. He's, I'll help you. He's not realizing,
God, Giorgio.
Why did they take her? It's like the worst person.
Just kill her. Just kill her. She's not going to...
Well, throw in the dang brick for the rest of the series.
So she's like, come with me. Like, she always does like that word, like, It's almost like, are you trying to seduce this guy? It's so weird.
But all funny, he's just going to do it. You don't have to. He's not the type of guy saying, what are you going to do for me? He's not like that.
What's in it for my big eyes? So she took that guy and they're going to go do what they're going to do.
And you could tell the security officer's looking at it like, that's kind of weird, but...
We got to get the ship up and running.
Yeah,
I can't worry about that.
But hopefully later on she keeps an eye on her.
So what did she have you do?
Exactly. Ask her later when she's not around. And again, this is a beautiful shot, but it's not a Star Wars. It's not a Star Trek shot.
Star Wars. Again, if this far shot, you can imagine the Mandalorian and the child.
And you can imagine this being a cutscene like the transition in Star Wars to this scene.
If you saw the wipes.
Swipe, you would see it. I'm sorry.
So they're talking more about these people, and they keep seeing someone who's like following them.
Yeah.
Is that who is this?
I think it could be. I think maybe it's that one of the people from that place, the colony.
Yeah. So it's so funny because you never really actually ever find out who this person is, but they keep like just
until he even says, "Well, I think it's a trap." But Seward goes, "We have no choice."
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We have to follow
because we need those materials. Then you get to a certain point, and then it just transports you to like this bar.
Yeah. And we're talking look like a bar from the Old West, like the front part. It's like
it even has the swinging doors and everything. And this is where I thought it had some pretty good tension. Because we're like, who are these people? Well, I've never seen this alien race. And if they have been in Trek before...
Yes, they have been. I've seen them before.
You've seen these people?
I've seen them before.
So they're there and everyone's... And it's like everything's in slow-mo.
Why is it in slow-mo? Get your phasers out.
What's happening? So...
I thought I was going to see a six-shooter.
Yeah. So we're looking around and guys like wiping down the table. It's very Western-y, which makes so much sense in Star Wars, but not so much in
This would have been a great scene in Star Wars. Oh, yeah,
it would be perfectly Mandalorian. But then we see them reaching for their phasers, and their phasers look funky.
They look better than the cannons, though.
They look better than the cannons, but they still look pretty stupid.
They look like something from Halo. They look like those little Halo guns.
Yeah, like the ones you charge up.
Charge up, yeah.
So they pull guns on her. I'm thinking, oh, crap. Then, they're like in Suru's like, we come in peace. We don't mean you any harm. Our ship was adrift and we crash landed. We just need some help, some repairs. So he's being, trying to be personable, and they know that they're Starfleet, And then, of course...
well, they go, well, don't you know ship Starfleet? They go, well, that doesn't mean anything.
Because they've been trying to... They have that word, like, we have to hide who we are. Because we don't know exactly what's happening. So I'm thinking, oh, God, these guys have to either be... Since they kind of knew Starfleet, I'm thinking, oh, I hope they're good guys. Because if they're bad guys, they're done.
And this is one of the few times Tilly talking actually helped. She said the regulations saying, if we were bad guys, we wouldn't be trying to talk to you like this.
Because, like, oh, if you're Starfleet, prove it then. Then she, like, pulled out some protocols about this, and that. And... this is because you're like, no matter what situation, you have to when you be professional. Even though I'm not freaking out, you can totally tell she's freaking out. But she's like, lower your guns or tell us your names because it's scary to have a gun pointed at you. Then you see him power down. I'm like, oh, good, they're good guys. And you can see that this guy's like, oh, Starfleet. I'm like, oh, thank God. Whew.
My goodness, I love the fact that kissed Starfleet and the Federation's butt in this series so much now. I love it.
As you should.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the Federation and Starfleet, it's to them, because they've been gone for, what, over 100 years?
130 years, yeah.
So all they have is like myth and legend.
Yeah.
And the legend of Starfleet would come and they do the right thing and they help people. Because even the other guy in the bar is like, well, how can we, they're not going to help us. It's like, they're Starfleet, that's what they do. Because I love that, because that is what Starfleet does. Yep. And, then Sue was like, okay, we can help each other. Because we need our communications fixed and everything. And I like this guy. I thought he was going to be more important, but later on we see him.
Yeah, I know, it's sad.
But he's a good guy. I like him.
I liked him too.
I love people that respect Starfleet.
And they're earnest about it.
He never seen him. He only knows what he's been told, but he believes.
Yep.
The true believers.
And then as soon as he said that dilithium, like, oh, you got dilithium? They're like...
And literally when they say that, everyone's like...
Oh, whoop. We can use it for our ships and get the heck off of here.
And he's like, okay, we're going to need enough to repair our ships, then I'm going to need some to barter so when we get to the trading post, then we can leave. He's like, okay, fine. We should have enough for all of this as long as... So, like, it's a tenuous kind of agreement. They can kind of tell they're both friends, but again, of course, everyone's still on edge because they still don't know what the hell's going on. But, okay, we have a starting point. They're willing to help each other. Okay, cool, I like that. Jet Reno.
Oh, then we get back to Jet Reno now. So such a bad point.
The Reno and Stamets show. Then Stamets is like, okay, it's about 11 meters up, 8 meters in. There's a conduit there that needs to be repaired.
Gotta go to the Jeffries tube, yeah.
And then she sits down. So why don't you go in and get on that? She's just so...
Well, she said, she's look, I'm damaged. My back is, I can't do it.
Because she's bitching about her back the whole time. And it honestly, the God does hurt her. Yeah. But she says it in such a way you think she's joking.
Yeah, I mean, she says it 3 times in this episode.
About her back hurting. Then she's like, you're well enough. You look pretty well-bodied. Why does she have to talk like that?
Why don't you say, I'm really hurting, Sam, and I know you're not doing well, but you got to be the one up there to do it. That's all she had to say.
But I do like... It's so weird.
Then she just kind of compliment him?
She talks him up by putting him down almost at the same time. She's like, yeah, everything we've been through, I know you can still go up there and get it done. But then she just says it in this weird backhand way.
I know she's hurting, but she's delivering lines deadpan, but it makes sense she's hurting, but it just comes off as... I don't know.
And, she's just sitting there. And he's like, are you going to just sit there? She's like, yeah. It's like, okay, thank you. You don't even be here. If you weren't going to actually help me, then why are you even here? Yeah. But that's just her attitude.
Oh, yeah, I'm just here to be almost like moral support. She said something to that effect.
I'm here just to help you along and to help you on your way. And she's just leaning back.
On her chair, okay.
We get back to the bar, and they're repairing the communications thing. But Tilly's like, oh, wow, I've never seen...
Yeah, and they go, this is pretty easy and kind of old stuff. He's like, oh, you guys don't have this? This is standard.
It'd be like someone looking at us and seeing a car running. Like, you just turned it on. Wow, you just turned it on.
Oh, yeah, and you're from the friggin' 1800s. Yeah, the 1790s. Like, what the heck?
So she's kind of giving herself up a little bit, but she's still like, oh, our ship is just really old. And he's like, it must be really old because I've never seen anything like this.
And it's amazing you're willing to butter all their lifting just for this. This is nothing. This is this is standard.
He rebuilds it, and he's like, lucky for you that I had something in our library of schematics that matches this a little bit.
I wouldn't be able to build this.
And then everything's about food. It's a good analogy, but everything's about food. Oh, she's like, you can't make a spaghetti with the gazpacho recipe, which is true. Like, you can't make something without the right recipe.
See, if anyone else was saying it's fine, but since she's always about food, it just comes off as Tilly with food in you all the time.
And how Stewart tries to, again, because the guy doing the rebuilding, he's all about helping. The other guy, not so much, because Sue was trying to talk to him, because they're talking about this other person. I forgot what his name, Singio?
Said something like
something
that.
Weird. He's like, when he shows up, it's going to be bad for you. So, he's probably tracked your ship. He's going to be here. And he's like, why are you afraid of him? And then, of course, he's being really cut off and, shitty with him. But apparently he's a courier. Remember how Booker was a courier or Book?
Yeah.
And this guy is a real piece of shit.
No, he does it for the money. Book does it to save the animals. He's doing it to...
This guy killed the previous courier, and then he barely gives them enough table scraps to keep them alive.
And then Cyril says, why isn't Starfleet stopping any of this? Why is this going on? This shouldn't be happening here.
And he's like, where are you from? Because Starfleet has been around for 130 years, but they don't know that situation. Then we get another Star Wars moment because that guy shows up.
He's got spurs on.
It's so funny. I don't know if he does, but it sounds like it.
Yeah, it's
they
cowboy boots. I know. It's like, you gotta be kidding.
Really?
See, that would be so cool if that was Han Solo.
I know,
that's
right?
a Han Solo thing.
But he comes in and he's just like this weird kind of Sons of Anarchy looking kind of guy.
Yeah, he's not even sorry. He looks like something like, I'm here for the meth deal. Okay.
Yeah, I know, right? But this guy's a real piece of work, and he has his crew, and he's like, oh, here's our and he has a funny accent too. So again, it just feels like Star Wars.
And even the other guy told him, you guys got to hide, but it was too late. They already came in.
So he's in there, and he's like, oh, these must be our visitors or whatever. And then he's like, oh, so you're helping them rebuild this thing. So they're trying to play off that, oh, they just showed up at random. We're not helping them. And then Suro's even's like, oh, I forced them to. So he's trying to
get them not in trouble because he knew this guy, yes.
And this other guy's talking, and then he's like, whoa, I've never even seen you talk this much.
So why are you talking? So already he's being a criminal. He knows, something's up. There's no way. Why are you talking so much?
And this guy kind of has an eye for Tilly. A little bit. He has a little bit.
But then the other guy says we could take her hair. Like, oh my goodness, you're going to take her hair.
Yeah. See, that's like when they start talking about bartering and stuff. But, so they're like, she's like, oh, what's going on here? And like that, yeah, you guys are Starfleet. Because of course, they scan the ship. It's like, your ship isn't in any of our databases. And he's like, oh, our secret mission, trying to tell us all that kind of stuff. And then the other guy's like, yeah, they've been contacting their other ships. So you better not try anything because if you do, they're going to show up too. And you're going to be in big trouble. So everyone's bluffing. Yeah, he's bluffing, they're bluffing. There's like 6 bluffs going on.
This is actually good tension, like you said. Everyone's like on pins and needles.
I do like the tension. It's pretty cool. But of course, this guy is a criminal. He knows exactly what's going on. Yeah. Then I feel bad for this guy
because he was a good guy.
Then he gets him, because he's trying to talk and kind of be more talkative and everything. So you know what? He just pulls out his and then the guns. His gun looks a little better, but again, it looks kind of like a Mass Effect kind of.
Well, even something from Destiny.
Yeah, it's very weird. Yeah, it does look like a Destiny shotgun, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
And it's not like an insta kill.
Oh, it's awful.
It's like a taser type thing, and then he keeps it on him.
I think it kills you from the inside, but you're still alive on the outside. It's like your body's still there. Like, oh man.
So it's like shocking him, and until he dies.
Yep.
And it's like, damn.
You didn't have to do that.
And it wasn't even like, no, it's like a torture kill.
Oh yeah, it's awful. It's sadistic.
So during that time he was shocking him, why didn't they pull their phasers?
I would have.
Because it took like a good 10 seconds to kill this guy.
So there's 2 other guys behind him, but still though.
I mean.
And you could tell she's and Tilly and they were like, oh my goodness, that's sadistic. That's awful.
That guy shouldn't have died, but they have to do what they have to do to survive, and blah. We get the outside shot and it looks horrible.
Yeah.
The ships the ships look bad.
The ships so far in the future look pretty janky. They look awful.
So they're shaking him down and they're doing everything that Book did. Oh, contact the Orion this. We have some ancient, Federation stuff. So they're just breaking everything.
Because look, we also detected the temporal thing, so you're from the past. You're from the past. There's just only way to explain it.
The other guy kind of just covers up his friend because they just left his dead body there, which is so freaking effed up. Then they start talking in their own tongue, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we can sell that girl's hair or whatever because she has curly red hair."
And Masaru knows a lot of languages. I think he knew what. Yeah,
and Seward was like, "It would much more if we just talked in common tongue," because Seward does know a bazillion languages. So of course he's like, "Oh, you can't use your secret language on us." Then they start talking, and that's when they start. Oh, there was also all these gamma rays, and then this explosion of energy. There's only one thing that does that, and that's time travel. Yep. So you guys are time travelers. So I'm like, okay, so all that, everything's out of the bag now. Then he kind of, then they find out that they don't have their communication. So no way, you didn't contact anybody. Yep. So if you needed their help,
and the thing
you're all stuck.
And not only that, why would you trade for this simple device to make so easily just for dilithium? That doesn't make any sense.
Because you're not from here.
You're not from here.
So he figured everything out. Get back to the Janet Reno and
Janet Reno.
Janet Reno.
That's Janet Reno. That's Janet Reno. I know.
Oh, because I grew up in Nevada, so I know Janet Reno.
Well, that's so funny about this too. With this lady, is that you put her with the cat, and Lower Decks is the same person.
Yeah, it's the kind of shitty attitude. The cat doctor.
Yeah,
they could almost be the same character.
Yeah.
that tactical officer lady's like, Giorgio said she was be down here to helping you. And you honestly believe that?
Ah, this lady.
Why is she gonna talk like that?
She's your commanding officer. Don't talk to her like that. Well, she's not here. I don't know what to tell you.
So, of course, she took off. I'm like, oh, she went to track him. Get back to the thing, and then, I like how Sue was like, still trying to, we can still deal. We can make things happen, we don't have to resort to all this violence. But he's like, okay, you're going to go, and you're going to get it. I'm going to stay here with this young lady here. And he's a little uncomfortably close to her. I think he had a thing for Tilly, because he's like, I don't know. He's like 1 second from like sniffing her hair, like he's a little weirdo.
Well, no, I think the thing is too is probably he hasn't seen any human females, so he's probably like, oh yeah, especially some from the past, like oh yeah, he's
because I mean look how close he's like, oh yeah, he's like. And
I think kind of we were sort of kind of hinting maybe I'll stay, and she can go. Cause it's like she's not staying here with you.
Get back to Stamets is in the Jeffries tube, and he's trying
with a little robot.
Yeah, it's like a camera. Remember, she had little buddies.
Yeah, no,
she made them.
But it's so stupid.
It's stupid Star Wars. It's so Star Wars. So her little drone's in there, so she's able to like talk to him. Yeah. Then she's crawling through there. Then I guess some random girl shows up. Oh, you need my help? And then she
all over her.
She says some weird thing. I'm at the epitome of like happiness, or she says something really stupid like, "Why are you like this?"
I know. She's just there to help you. What's your problem?
Don't you dare offer me help. But so Stamets up there, and I guess there's that ice is starting to crush the ship a little bit, so it's starting to compromise some of the integrity. There's kind of an explosion, and it hits Stamets, so he's bleeding now. So not only did he just get out of med bay, he's physically injured, and he's like, disoriented.
All messed up. And then now she kind of encourages him, so it's so weird.
It's like, oh, that's nothing. You got this.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, it's kind of nice, but then she has to be shitty about it too.
Yeah.
Get back to
and then the bar, and they negotiate. Okay, how about this many crystals? Okay, was that so hard?
Yeah, back and forth. Though 175 units, 150 units. So they're
and then that's when he tells them about the parasites, right?
Oh, he talks about like how the ice is like a parasite,
and it's going to crush your ship.
They run into I guess they found Giorgio.
Yeah.
And they throw her into the thing. Oh, you only said one person to help you, and of course Giorgio is this super over the top, ha ha ha, I know exactly what's going on here.
It's so funny because these people have an idea of Starfleet. That's not her. She's just as bad as you, if not worse.
Yeah, probably worse. But she says something that makes sense. She's like, you dude realize that you're not the only one that recognized this ship falling. There's people out there bigger and badder than you. They're going to show up. And she's talking to the other guard and saying, they're going to kill all of you. So you're better off killing him, and then we can just get out of here together because he's going to get you killed. So I'm like, oh, wow, she's trying to get them to
And then she's like, okay, kill this one. She goes, this one's got to die. She's got a mouth on her.
Then we get kind of a fun moment where he shoots her with the same gun, but he kind of does it in pulses.
He wants to torture her.
So he wants to torture her, but it's like, how convenient.
Of course.
How convenient.
I was hoping for a split second. Is she going to die? And no, right. Of course not. Of course not.
So she's like getting shocked, and then like they're not doing anything about it. Just like watching it happen.
So it was like, she deserves this. No, he doesn't say that.
He looks over at Tilly and he's like, yeah, she's getting it. But then I guess he's like waiting for the right time. Because, in any type of, you got to wait for your counter ambush. Yeah. Take your turn. So she's getting shocked. And then I don't necessarily agree with this. He's being a little too protective of Tilly. He's like, oh, jump behind the bar and we'll take care of this.
Yeah.
She's an officer too.
She is.
She needs to be in the fight.
But maybe he's being overprotective of her.
Yes, he totally is.
But I think also he's doing it too because of how Giorgio treated her. Maybe he feels like, oh, I got it.
You're an officer too.
Yeah, that's true. I could see his point. But he should have let her fight a little bit.
So she's still getting shocked, and of course Giorgio, I like it. This is like foreplay. Okay, everything with Giorgio is sex. Everything with Tilly is food. Yeah. So those are the two things. Then she kind of kicks the stool at him, and it makes him stutter, and that's when they're like, okay, now, Suru's strong. He's like, his race is physically strong.
He broke a guy's wrist in this thing, like, oh, gosh.
Then we get a cool little battle, and of course, Giorgio's badass, and see, she's just a lady, 125 pounds, maybe?
Human. She isn't an alien. She doesn't have any
Suru can whoop ass because he's an alien and he's super strong. And they're super fast, too. Yeah. Remember who's right?
Oh, yeah, he's hella fast.
So they start the ass whoop-a-thon, and it's a pretty decent fight scene or whatever. And then I like how Suru uses his little spines.
To get one of the guys that was so
because
cool.
he has like defensive mechanism.
Did he shoot one out?
Yeah, they went and
oh, that's so cool.
Like a little like burst of...
They'll both have that too.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
They had dinosaurs.
So they shoot everyone, they get everyone down, and then it's just that one guy left. And Sue was like, "You're not killing him."
Georgia wanted to just kill him with his gun.
Yeah, and then Georgia was like, Georgia's like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. You'd be better off dead anyways." But that's not Starfleet. And then, like you said, Suru is like, "I'm the commanding officer. I'm telling you to hand me your weapon and you stand down."
And he said it this time even better, even stronger, saying, "We did not come to this time to act like savages, basically.
Yeah.
We're Starfleet officers. We're not going to do that." And then you could see the look of the other guy who didn't believe him at first, like shocked, like, "Oh my goodness, he is a Starfleet officer."
Yeah,
that's
because
incredible.
he's standing up
to this. Because he's used to people like Giorgio everywhere.
And these people try to kill him.
Yeah.
And he's willing to stand up for what he believes.
Yep.
And you don't, because the unnecessary violence, yes, when we had to fight those guys and the couple of dudes we killed, we had to. But right now, we don't have to kill this man.
Yep.
But I guess the sun's setting, and of course, remember, like we said, when the sun sets, that ice gets stronger. Yep. So they are in a time crunch.
And instead of having to argue with you, stupid Giorgio, they have to fix the ship.
Yeah, but wasting time.
Wasting time here.
We see that Stamets' husband, I forgot his name. Is it
Paul? Not Paul. No.
Hugh?
Hugh. I think it might be
Is
Hugh.
it Hugh? It's been so long. I don't think they actually ever said his name in the episode yet. This episode. I know they did last season. But he shows up. He's like, "What the hell is Stamets doing? What's he doing in there?" And she's like, "Yeah, he has to fix this stuff, and I wasn't going to do it." And it's like, we're so crass about everything, Reno.
I know.
But he's like, "Oh, come on, no, we have to get through this." And of course, like how a husband or a girlfriend or a boyfriend would be like, "You got to live so I can kill you later."
Yeah, I can kill you afterwards. Yeah, but that's what a husband would say.
But that's fine for him to say that because they're an actual couple.
Yeah.
For him to be a little crass like that is funny, but when Reno does it, it's not.
Because it's not, they're not no relation to him.
So this whole scene, it's nice, but it takes forever. So wait, here we go. Replace this thing. Replace it. You did it. See what I said in 3 seconds? It takes like 3 minutes. Yeah. Because like he slowly opens up the hatch, remove this, replace that, connect the thing.
This episode should have been 40 minutes. It was about 10 minutes too long. Not too many bad fillers in previous episodes, but still, some filler.
But it got everything up and running.
Yeah.
And it's nice. Hooray for you. You did it. I'm so nice. My husband's awesome. That whole scene took way too long.
Yeah.
We get back to the guy who's basically on his hands and knees now because he's toast. Then, so Giorgio is like, but the universe would be better without him. Let's just kill him now. But like you said, he's like, enough of this. I'm commanding you. I am the commander of the vessel that brought you here. You're under my command, and I am telling you to give me this weapon.
Yeah, give me the weapon now.
Then she kind of does like that, pointed at you, flip it around type thing.
Oh, of course, to prove I still did something. Yeah, exactly.
But then, like you said, that one guy's like, wow, you guys really are Starfleet. Yeah. The one guy who died, he always believed you would come back. And he always believed that we were Starfleet. Yeah. Because what you guys believed in, and like he saw it firsthand what Starfleet really is.
And he gave him the up there. You can do what you want with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to lay it clean of it. You can do what you want.
He tells him, "I'm sorry your friend died, but we will bring you enough dilithium for you to, you're going to take this guy's ship. I'm giving it to you. Give you enough dilithium to get off the planet and do the trading that you have to trade, and you're free now. And I'm not going to tell you what you're going to do with this guy, but that's your business now." So like he hands him the little shotgun rifle thing, and he's like, "Get out of here." "Well, I'm not going to survive the night." He's like, "You're going to let these people run out there and die in the night, so we'll give you the same courtesy." So he gives him a little travel pack. Get walking. Yep. So, but
then what if he had a thing to get on the ship again? Like, why would you,
I think
because you should have make sure he didn't have the ability to do that. I would have kept him in there, but.
So this guy coming back.
And the thing is, I don't want Giorgio to use him like you said.
Yeah,
she would.
Giorgio, you said something that could be used on my crew. I know. I got a feeling.
She's a guest spot. You know she is.
You're leaving him alive is just as dangerous as leaving you alive.
Yeah, though there's no difference.
So they get everything. I do like the fact that they're instilling hope again. Starfleet goes places and they give people hope.
Who would have thought this is the show to do that?
I know, right?
It was the complete opposite of that the first 2 seasons.
But he goes, "Here you go. Here's some personal transporters. So you can get back to your ship." So because like with the sundown, they're not going to make it either. But he's like, "You can get right back to your ship." And welcome to the future. Oh, okay, great. So we made some friends. Hooray. That's what Starfleet does. They get back there, they replace the communications thing, everything's up and running. Not at 100%, but it's up and running. So shields are at 10%, communications at 70%, but we're better than 0. Yeah. So we're starting to get back, but they need to get off the planet because that ice is going to crush them. So everyone's at their stations, but we have our navigation girl, and she's just sitting there. And Sewer's like, status report.
Cyberboard.
Thrusters, the base thrusters are ready, but he's like, I do realize we weren't designed to lift off this.
But we have to. We have no choice.
We have no choice. Make it so. So they're starting to take off, but not enough power. They're starting to, but the ice is bringing them back down. I'm thinking, well, I'm imagine coming all this way and then failing.
Yeah, I know. And then they said even tactical's down, so they couldn't even use like the
phasers to
kind of break it up a little bit. Yeah. Like, that sucks.
Get outside with the hand.
See, that's what makes so sense when they explain that. See, now we can't ask that question because you explained it to us.
But they're starting to sense other ships and like, oh crap, that's the ships that Giorgio was talking about. They're like,
we kept on saying, hope it's not a foe, hope it's a friend, because you're like, you don't know.
Good guys, hope they're good guys. They get hit with a tractor beam, and they're starting to get pulled up, and Sewer's like, again with this crap. Like, communications are open, they're hailing us.
And the Sewer has to think for a second. He's like,
stands up. We're going to meet whoever these people are, like Starfleet. We're going to contact them, and friend or foe, we're gonna be in it together because we're a ship, we're a crew, and open comms. On view screen, and I'm like, I'm thinking, who could it be? Is it another bad guy? Is it a good guy? And it's Michael Burnham.
Yep.
And they're like, Michael, it's you. I've been looking for you for so long. And
then I said, how long has it been? Because there would be a time difference. They went at different times.
Even though technically, visually, it was like, what,
seconds?
2 minutes, maybe a minute?
Yeah.
But then they're like, oh my God, it's you, Michael. We found you. And her hair is completely different. And she's like, I've been searching for a year. So she's been tooling around with book for a year.
Yeah. But now she'll know more about the future, though, so she can tell them.
So I'm like, okay, that's good. Now they found each other and everything. And in myself, I'm almost thinking, so what's next? Like, rebuild the Federation?
You could. That has to be the story.
But this Georgia, my girl's back.
Georgia just has that look on her face, like, please make her go away.
Trustworthy thing in the history of all freaking things.
You could contain her in a fully functioning Federation, but in this situation, you can't. She's gonna take advantage of it. I won't be surprised she becomes like part of the Orion Syndicate or something like that, like a bunch of despots in a ship somewhere, a marauder.
So all the crew's back together now. Like I said, but where do they go from here? Go to the nearest starbase, try to help rebuild that. Then
go to that one guy. Can you imagine him seeing a whole starship? He'd be like.
So I wonder if they I want him on the ship.
I hope he's on the ship.
I hope he gets to be on the ship.
I hope that one's just a one scene. Come on, let him see a real starship so he could just like be like, oh my God, this is incredible.
Get the man in uniform.
Yeah, no.
Give him a. But
he even told Burnham, you can give me a commission, if you wanted to.
Well, she did commission him as being like the official communications.
But I mean, like a science officer, yeah.
But not a bad episode. The Star Warsy stuff is a little heavy.
It's still good. It's a good story, but it doesn't fit Star Trek. I'll give it that. Reno was what brought it down.
Reno really brought it down.
Do I want to give it a 7? I almost want to give it a 7.
It's like a 6. It's a
6.5.
You didn't fail. But I guess we're building towards being good.
But the thing is, if this just keeps up, I'm hoping, but God, we're going to have stupid jokes and silly stuff like before. I don't want any of that.
Oh, Tilly doesn't like cats. It's going to be stupid crap like that.
I don't care about that.
But,
remember Spot? Oh, God.
But we still have mysteries. What did Giorgio want with that other dude? Remember the Spectrum, the Vision? So what the hell did she want with him? And I think the bad guy this season is Giorgio, right?
Oh, I'm assuming she's going to turn.
To be the villain.
And I think that science officer needs to Detective Burnham. She trusts you more than anyone. Find out what Giorgio's doing. I'd ask her. You need to.
And we have the navigation officer. What's up with her?
Yeah, what's going on with her?
Is it mental? Is it psychological?
I'm just hoping it's just a normal like PTSD thing and not like she becomes something bad or something.
God, please, God, I don't want control. That was such a stupid idea. Make sure there's no control. I don't like it.
I'm hoping control's gone.
Yeah. But not too bad. Not the worst thing in the world, but definitely
Cyril
not the best.
It.
Yeah, Cyril's so cool. Every time they uphold the fundamentals and the dream and the idea and the spirit of the Federation, it makes me smile.
It helps. Why was this in the first 2 seasons? Where was this? None of this. Now we're getting it. Just took them 3 years to become decent.
But we got again the preview episode they showed doesn't look like. I don't know. Again, like we see some other bad guy ships and stuff, so they're gonna run into things.
But the thing is, since they have the spore drive, they can get anywhere, anytime. That's gonna be
once they get that up and running again.
Yeah,
but that's gonna make them a target of everything.
Oh my goodness, they need to put that on every Federation ship so they can.
But won't they have to have a physical navigator? Won't they all have to have their own stands?
At this point, it's so desperate. You got to make do what you got to do.